Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with a brand new episode of Friday Night Smackdown. So y'all, on a new episode of Friday Night Smackdown, we are going to see once again Randy Orton. I'm pretty sure he is going to address again of his actions from last week, going with Matt Cardona. I blinked on his name for a couple seconds. Matt Cardona, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna address it. I really hope that he says something about the phone call he supposedly had with someone. Now, I literally seen a little clip of Ted DiBiase Jr., who is who is the son, my bad, of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase Sr. He was on the phone with someone, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll see you on April 17th." And April 17th is, of course, WrestleMania. I believe the second night of WrestleMania. So, do y'all think it's gonna be Ted DiBiase? Do you really think it's gonna be Ted DiBiase? I don't see it being him, because he has been in so much legal trouble. But it might be him. It honestly might be him. I don't even know. But I will be honestly shocked if Cody will actually somehow flip the switch and just let Randy lose so he can get the championship to Randy, because this will be Randy's 15th championship. So I think it'd be good. I think it'd be good for him to have. And I don't know. I wonder who is gonna be the next victim. I know y'all just heard my phone going off. Oh my goodness. But I wonder who is going to be his next victim of the week. Since he already beaten up Cody, attacked Matt Cardona, I wonder who is going to be the next victim of him. I couldn't even imagine who it will be. And I know I saw earlier that we're going to get the Bella Twins versus Alexa and Charlotte. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really care about this one. It's gonna be okay. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an okay match. I don't really see it being too exciting as they think it's gonna be, but I don't know. And I don't know if y'all gonna even watch this. People who do editing, how do y'all I want to put clips of some of the matches in the video, but I do not want to get copyright claimed or even a strike from WWE, because I know they're going to probably strike me down because it is a clip. If y'all know how to somehow work past it, I know I see online from Reddit and everything, it was just put a little snippet of the match on your video. But then I'm like, I don't know, should I even do that? Why would I even put just a little bitty snippet? Because y'all can literally just go watch one of the snippets that WWE posts. If I can talk today, it'd be nice. But I don't know. I might just add pictures. I might add pictures. As soon as they drop some pictures, I will probably add some pictures, so it'd be a little bit more better. I'm trying to get better at the editing, so bear with me if it seems unbearable or just intolerable. I'm learning. I'm teaching myself how to be a good editor. But and once I get that somewhat down, I hope it'll be better for everyone to enjoy and watch it. And I'm gonna go ahead and say sorry now for this raggedy camera I have, this webcam camera I have. I want to get a better camera right now. These tariff prices for these cameras, never. I am not paying that much money for a big old camera, girl. I'm just gonna go ahead and pick this little webcam camera that I bought, and we're just going to rock with this for a little while. But after all my yapping, let's get started with the show. Okay, guys, we. Okay, guys, so the show opens up with Randy Orton, basically him going on again saying that, you know, the voices in his head are telling him to do what he needs to do, and basically trying for him to get number 15. And he just goes on saying once again about Cody, how I feel like Cody is trying to like little man him or give Randy his blessing. Like Randy needs a blessing from Cody. No. So, he goes on the same, basically repeating himself over and over. He's been saying this for the past like 2 weeks over and over again. And once again, him reciting that he wants to go for number 15, which I really hope he does get number 15. I think he really does deserve it. And like I said the past couple weeks ago, or maybe even last week, I think this is going to be his last major run for a big championship. I don't see him going for another championship, especially him probably on the same route as John Cena. And then I also heard that even Brock Lesnar is thinking of retiring soon. So all the greats are retiring and leaving. So after that went on, Matt Cardona starts like marching up to the ring, and Randy is just barking at him. He's like, "Didn't I break your arm last week? Why are you even here?" And he just barking and barking. And Matt Cardona didn't even say anything. He literally just hit Randy in the head with the microphone. But literally, that was it. He really didn't even do nothing. Just kind of a time waster of a segment, I guess, just to show that Randy is there. So then it jumps to Trick Williams and GM Nick Aldis, and basically Nick Aldis is giving Trick a WrestleMania slot. So this is very good for Trick Williams. And people who have not heard, I actually like Trick Williams. And once again, I'm going to say they need to get Trick out of this white suit. Please give him a different color. It looks like he's just wearing the same clothes over and over and over again. So then we end up getting Sammy comes out, and he is just like basically overhearing the conversation between Nick and Trick, and he's like, "Oh, Nick, all this, and and that, and that." You know how Sammy has been doing for the past couple weeks. It's just been weird Sammy vibe, which I don't care for. But Nick ends up telling Sammy, "Hey, look, you don't have a shot to WrestleMania." And then Trick Williams is just over there popping his gums, like, "Oh, try again next year," which is demoralizing. I'll be demoralized if you tell me that as a person. So then Sammy walks off, but as soon as Sammy walks off, he ends up ambushing Trick Williams, and then tells Nick Aldis, "Just you wait, I'm gonna make it to WrestleMania." So, can we possibly see Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania? Probably. I can definitely see it. But who knows? I don't know. So, y'all, the first match of the night, we had the Bella Twins versus Charlotte and Alexa. And I'm not gonna lie, that match was not it. It was not it. It was not it because the Bellas, of course, just came back from not competing with each other for the last couple years. And it was kind of choppy match. Very slow, very kind of sluggish. Um, I will give it. I'll give it like a 5 out of 10. Like I said, it really wasn't an exciting match. I didn't really get excited to the end of the match because earlier, before the match even started, we had Lash Legend and Nia Jax come out and basically just say that Lyra and Bailey are the number one contenders for their championship. And they claim that they don't really care about Alexa, Charlotte, and the Bella Twins. But they end up coming out to watch their match anyway. So you know they was going to get involved. So towards the end of the match, Lash Legend hit Alexa Bliss in the face with her punch or forearm that she does now, which it always sounds so crazy when she hits it. But end up Brie Bella end up capitalizing on it and getting a win for the Bella Twins. And then, you know, between them, Lash and Nia and Alexa and Charlotte came out in this whole brawl. And then Bailey and Lyra ended up coming out helping their other girls because Lash and Nia were just dominating both of them. And I'm going to go ahead and say Nikki Bella must be actually hurt because during the end of the scuffle, Nikki was nowhere to be found. She was still like at ringside because I believe Nia and Lash end up throwing everyone out the ring. So I think Nikki might be hurt because I actually heard that they were trying to do, which I kind of said last week or even Monday, that I think they're trying to make a triple threat situation. But if Nikki Bella is back in time before the match is even called, it'd probably be okay. It probably wouldn't affect nothing. But yeah, that was going on with that. And then we get a quick little R-Truth and Damian Priest segment of Truth just being a fool and him trying to claim that this is a brand new Judgment Day. And Damian's like, what are you talking about? And then Jelly Roll comes in and Truth thought that Jelly Roll was Dominic Mysterio, which I don't even know how he thought that was even possible. But anyway, that happened. And then Rhea ended up coming along and playing along with the joke and congratulating Priest and R-Truth off their championship win last week. So that was it for that little segment. Nothing really here or there. I just love how Truth is playing dumb, like he doesn't know what's going on. But that's Truth for you. He's gonna constantly do this. This is what makes him funny, because he just does random stuff. And I'm surprised that he didn't get Damien to crack, because Damien will be laughing with Truth be joking. But guess we'll see. Alright, y'all. So we get a quick little pre-match segment between Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Meechin. I want to say Mia Yim so bad. I like her name Mia Yim more than Meechin. But anyway. And also Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley actually came out first. And she's just going on saying how You know, how Jade and the rest of them was just this random group that got put on together, and BFAB and Meechin joined Jade's side. You know, just going off and just saying that. Basically repeating the same thing that they already showed us last week, which I'm not even gonna lie, I do not like when WWE do that. We literally just saw what they just did like a couple minutes ago. Why do a promo of repeating on what we just saw? But anyway, Hood and Jade and them comes out, and they all just talking trash to each other, and really nothing too much. I know y'all can probably see my reaction, how I really do not care for this group. It's because it's really random, because they all hated each other and now you're all together without no true story, that somehow y'all just found out it was better to be together than argue. But anyway, so you know, BFAB, Meechin, Jade, all just going back with Rhea, and Rhea was like, you know what, why don't you come down to the ring? And Jade volunteered BFAB, so it's gonna be a match between her and BFAB right now, actually. So y'all, we get the Rhea and BFAB match, and it didn't even last no longer than 5 minutes. Because Jade and them got involved, and then Jade ended up hitting Rhea with the Jaded, and that was it. That match, literally nothing to talk about. Wasn't much going on, and once again, I'm gonna say this again. I know I said this like also a couple weeks ago. I actually want Jay to lose his championship. I am low key annoyed with this championship run of hers. I'm not saying like she's bad as a person. It just championship her just not exciting, and the fans booed her. I mean, they were really booing them. She's not really a good champion. She's kind of just mediocre. Like I said, I like her look. She's a good look champion, but she's not a good in person champion compared to Rhea. So I really do hope they strip her of this WrestleMania from that championship and give it back to Rhea so everyone can be happy and be a little bit content. So then we get a quick little Danhausen segment. If y'all been listening, I really am not too excited for Danhausen. I want to see him in the ring. I'm tired of the comedic thing that he's doing. And basically, he just cursed Kit Wilson. Because The Miz was confronting in Kit of every bad thing that's happening to him. He lost his luggage, his phone got dropped in the toilet, he stepped in gum, just everything. Just everything. And Kit is just, you know, trying to consult Miz, and Miz wasn't having it. And that's when Danhausen came out and cursed Kit Wilson. So, yeah. Really nothing too exciting there. And I'm going to say it again, I don't have, like, a bad thing with Danhausen. I just want to see him in the ring. I get annoyed when they keep showing this person but not acting on it. Like, I don't know, it just kind of gets on my nerves after a while. But anyway, so y'all, we get a quick little segment with Drew McIntyre and Kathy. And Kathy basically asking Drew on what happened last week between him and Jacob Fatu. And Drew McIntyre just answers in Drew McIntyre way. You know. You know how Drew is. You know, that he basically would just take care of business of Jacob Fatu. And this is low key another rivalry that I cannot wait for it to end. Now, I'm not saying the rivalry is bad. It's not really bad. It's a pretty good rivalry, but I don't know. I think I'm just tired of seeing Drew at this point because all he do is just cause drama and then they just get into fights constantly. He doesn't really do nothing exciting for me currently. I'm not saying like he's a bad person because he's not. So that was the end of that segment. Like I say, she didn't really, well, Kathy and Drew didn't really say much. She was just asking about what happened and, whatever. So then the next match of the night, we had Jelly Roll versus Kit Wilson. Now, this match was okay. A very stiff match because Jelly Roll is not a wrestler. But it was an okay match. It told the story between him and Kit because last week Jelly Roll made a comment about Kit's mother, saying that he puts his belly on top of his mother to do things. And Kit didn't like that. So now it was a match between them. And it was a pretty good match. Like I said, very stiff because Jelly Roll is not a wrestler. So it was pretty much Kit carrying this whole match for both of them. But all in all, I'll probably give it like a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it wasn't too bad of a match. But it was okay. Especially for Jelly Roll. Especially him losing all that weight. I'm excited for him. I hope that he takes his win and be happy with it. I'm pretty sure we're going to see him again at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure. He's been on WWE TV for a minute now. So he might do a little pop-up at WrestleMania. I feel it. So, y'all, we have a quick little segment with Solo Sokoa and the rest of MFT. And basically, it's just Solo. Basically, he's apologizing to the rest of MFT because he hasn't been like a good leader to them. And, a certain someone is trying to act like Roman. And he was referring to Tama Tonga. And as the rest of them walk away, Tama Tonga ended up getting stopped by Carmelo. And Carmelo was like, you should get a shot for the championship. So then Carmelo walks away, and then Shinsuke Nakamura comes around and tries to talk some sense into Tama, but then Tonga, my goodness, comes around and is like, hey, do we have a problem here? And Shinsuke is like, nah. And then all of them just walk away. And that was just the end of that segment. Really nothing too much going on. Once again, I think Tama Tonga is going to break away from MFT. And you know what? I'm thinking now that I said this, Tama is going to end up helping Roman at WrestleMania against CM Punk. That is my prediction. I think that's what's going to happen. So, after all this happened, we have a match between Carmelo Hayes and Sami Zayn, and this match was the best match of the night. Once again, Carmelo Hayes putting on show stopper top tier matches every single week, but unfortunately he ended up losing to Sami Zayn due to Trick Williams hitting Carmelo in the head with something on accident, which caused him to lose against Sami, which was not on the bingo card for me. I was not expecting Sami to win due to what I even said earlier, that he was gonna find some way to get up there, but I wasn't thinking during the U.S. Championship. But yeah, Sami Zayn is now the new United States Championship. So I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this. I'm still kind of confused about it. I really don't care for it, nor that I'm not too mad at neither, you know. So then, y'all, we get a quick little segment of Jacob Fatu coming back out, and Kathy tried to talk with him, asking how's he feeling, and basically reciting what Drew said, that, you know, they had a good fight last week. But Jacob was like, you know what, I'm gonna take it to the ring. So guys, we get our segment with Jacob Fatu, and he basically said what happened between him and Drew last Friday, that they literally beat the crap out of each other, and they jumped off a 20-story building, and he's beaten and bruised and battered, and he's limping, and just basically saying that Drew is trying to take his money away, trying to stop him from putting food on his children's table, and just goes on and on about his children, and, you know, how Drew is just stopping him from working. So then Drew comes around, and he said, you know what, you saying I'm trying to take money from you and stop feeding your kids? That's my food that they're eating. I work hard for that. And then he said, you know, forget your children, basically. And, you know, that spikes Jacob, and he tried to go out and run to Drew. But then Nick Aldis comes out and basically said them two are a liability to each other and everybody else around them. So at WrestleMania, they will have an unsanctioned match. Well, basically, unsanctioned is anything can happen. No DQs, just anything can happen. And the only way how to stop a match is by pinning your opponent or making them submit. So I don't know why he said unsanctioned match, but he could just be like, no DQ, off at all, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to say unsanctioned, because people didn't even have a pop when Nick Aldis said that. I don't think anyone even knew what that meant at the time. So then we get a quick little another segment with Matt Cardona and Jelly Roll, him just being like, you know, I'm sorry, man, that Randy has been just off the chain, and I don't know what's going on with him, but Randy's on his way, and Matt Cardona is like, he's on his way, you know, and basically he's like, what you mean he's on his way? This has nothing to do with him and Cody right now. This is about me. And Jelly was like, you know, I'm just trying to help, man, but, you know, do what you gotta do. So then you get Zelina and Alistair just coming out of the woodworks and saying some random poem, and I don't know, them two just being weird. And even Matt was like, what are you talking about? So I don't know what's going on with that. And then we also get a little funny moment with Tiffany and Chelsea Green. And, you know, Chelsea Green has been in this wheelchair for about 2-3 months now. It was a little funny segment, you know, because they've been doing for the past 2 weeks of someone pushing Chelsea out of the frame with the chair, but it didn't do it this time. But that was it. There really nothing too special about that match. It was nothing special about that moment. So y'all, the next match of the night was Tiffany Stratton versus Julia. This match was okay. Really nothing going on. Typical Tiffany Stratton match. Just her, you know, just doing her thing. And Julia being a okay wrestler, And all for that, Julia ended up picking up the win against Tiffany because Kiana James distracted Tiffany when she was trying to do her prettiest moonsault. And, you know, Julia picked up her knees and ended up getting like a pin off of Tiffany. This match was okay. Nothing too exciting to go on. Don't know what that means for Tiffany right now because it was just a regular match. It wasn't against for the United States Championship. So I don't know what they're doing with Tiffany. I wonder what y'all think. What do you think they're doing with Tiffany? Like, they're trying to make her a mid-card wrestler right now, or they're trying to find some way to work her up back into being the main championship spot. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her. But that was it for that. And then we catch back up with Kathy. Kathy is asking Bailey and Lyra, about what's going on with the championship for the women's tag team champions. And it was like, we had to show Nia and Lash that we are your number one contenders right now for the championship. And we don't care about anyone else. All that matters is just us two. And that was it. I'm not sure about y'all, but do y'all feel like they are trying too hard with these promos and segments? Sometimes it doesn't even feel natural like it used to be anymore. It used to feel so natural, like they just walk in and they just feel like they're having a normal conversation with you. Now I just feel like they're just pushing these promos because they have really nothing else to do because they're just trying to buy time for WrestleMania. So it just, I don't know. Alright, y'all. So the last match of the night was Randy Orton versus Matt Cardona. And I can't even call this even a match. It was just Randy running his way with Matt Cardona. Just attacking Matt Cardona's arm the whole entire match and ending up picking up the win. Couldn't even tell you that it even was a match. It was even nothing. But, of course, at the end of the match, Cody Rhodes pulls up in his truck, or bus, I'll say, and he's running to the ring, trying to get his hands on Randy. The security is trying to hold Randy back before Cody got there, but that didn't work. So, then Cody got there, but Nick Aldis tried to intercept and try to stop Cody, and Cody was like, I just want to talk to him. Of course, they didn't talk. So, Randy and Cody literally just have a full-on brawl. And if y'all be watching, you know how them brawls work. They just have security all over the place, try to separate them. They break out, separate them again, break out, separate them again, break out, and it goes on the whole 10 minutes left in the show. So then Jelly Roll comes out and tries to be a mediator between the two after they separate for the last time, and Randy ended up breaking out and RKOing Jelly Roll, and that was the end of the show. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't think this was a good show. A lot of the matches really didn't get no pop or really barely any reaction. I mean, it had a couple of reactions to some matches, but not the usual one that they probably will like. I feel like the only best match of the night was Carmelo and Sammy's match. They really put on that match, and it really surprised me that they even let Sammy keep the championship. But that was totally the match of the night. It made the whole show. I really didn't care for the rest of the matches, and I know y'all gonna watch it and gonna hear it in my voice that I did not really care about really anything that went on this whole card, I'll say, not even just the matches, but the whole card. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, this episode really wasn't too good, to my opinion. Everybody had their own opinions, but that's mine. And hopefully next week they'll do better. And I hope Randy and Cody, to stop doing this brawl thing every single week. I've been saying it for the past couple weeks that they done this a little bit too early. Now it's gonna be a constant thing until WrestleMania, which is, I think they said 22 days away. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. For the most part, most of the matches and the cards are full for WrestleMania, but I know they're gonna add a couple stupid matches to make up time for the show. But I want to thank all of you for watching, and I really hope y'all enjoy this video. This is the first time me showing my face on the camera, and I promise I will get better of the camera and find better ways it won't look so raggedy. But after all that, thank you for watching. I hope y'all like, subscribe, share with your friends and family and anyone else who loves wrestling, and get them to like it. But after all that, love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters. Bye.